So Gantt square is very simple. Basically, what you have to do, we have discussed about a range breakout strategy, which you have seen already. If you have seen a 15 minutes video, there we have discussed about a range breakout strategy. So Gantt square is somewhere, related to that only. You can use it for the purpose of trailing your stop loss or deciding your probable targets. How you can do it? First thing is to find a stock, which you have already seen. Okay, once you have found that stock, you can apply Gantt square to it. For that purpose, simply go to Gantt square. Okay, select the first 15 minutes candle. So here what I'm doing is, this is the first 15 minutes candle. 9:15 is the time. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what you have to do is, you have to place the, if it is a bearish candle, you have to place the high of the first 15 minutes candle on the first Gann line, and the low of the first 15 minutes candle on the third Gann line. Is it clear? So what if you just look at this candle, the high of this candle is almost at the Gann square first level, and the third Gann square level is at the third Gann level. Correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Right? This much is clear?
Yes, sir.
So what Gann rule says is that once you have drawn this Gann square according to the first 15 minutes candle, now what Gann square says is that once the price goes below one level, it will go to the next level. That is what the Gann rule is. For example, if the price is breaking this Gann level, it will probably reach here. If it is breaking this Gann level, it will reach here. If it is breaking this Gann level, it will reach here. Okay, so if probably you have taken a trade here, so you can understand that this is somewhere price will go, and there you can book your profit if you want. Or once the price have broken this level also, it will probably go here, and somewhere at the high of this you can trail your stop loss.
Yes, sir. So third line should be on a low of 15-minute candle.
Yes, if it is a bearish candle, then third line should be on the bottom of first 15 minutes candle.
Okay.
Okay, and the first Gann line should be at the high. In this case, there was a bearish candle. Sometimes you'll find a bullish candle also. So you have to reverse the process.
Okay.
In that case, what you have to do? Okay, for example,
third line should be on a high.
Right.
Of 15-minute candle.
Correct. So if you just look at here, this is the first line, right? This is the first candle. Yes. So place the bottom of this first candle here. So now what I have done here, first candle is bullish, so first Gann level will be at the bottom of the first 15 minutes candle, and the high of first 15 minutes candle will be at the third Gann level. Okay. Yes. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So once, see up here again, remember this, if the price is going below this, it is expected that it will touch the next Gann level. If the price is going upward and it goes into the buy zone, you have seen that buy zone sell zone concept video.
Yes, sir.
Right?
15 minutes. No?
Right, of course, 15 minutes. So above that 15 minutes candle, there is a buy zone. Below that first 15 minutes candle is the sell zone. You have seen that video?
Yes, sir.
Right. So there I have also told you about trigger candle and an entry candle that you have seen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So if you just look at this candle here, this is just the trigger candle.
Yes.
Okay. If you just remove this
below this we have to take entry.
Right? Yes, correct. Okay. And once that is done, you can use Gann square for trailing purpose, booking profit. So if the price is going, it will probably, if you just look at here, if I want to extend from the Gann level, it has taken support exactly here. And then it has given little pullback, and then again it went up. And again, if you just want me to draw, you look again at the Gann level, it will, somewhere struggle. So these Gann are somewhere, very useful. These are intraday supports and resistance. And these are based on the first 15 minutes candle, which is the most important candle of the day. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is how you can use Gann square. All right.
Okay.
Fine. So one more thing, you were asking about delivery, right? So for that purpose, I have told you first you have to do little analysis. Okay. So how you have to do? you have to find out those stocks which are, you know, coming up with some kind of announcement. Okay, in next 10 to 15 days. Have you seen that in stock selection? Was it there in that video or it was not there?
Yes, sir, I have seen that. How to select a stock regarding result, financial result.
Yes. Okay. Once you have selected that, you keep on tracking those stocks where you want to invest, and if there is a high delivery, how you have to check it, I'll tell you. So there were two ways. Okay. Here from here in this website, this link is already shared. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir, I have seen.
Right. So from here, if you just click on full download, you'll get this file. Here you can simply, you know, apply a few filters. This is the file, right? This is how it will open. Just go to this here. Go into filters. Okay. And then you can filter it out. Or you can also just click here and press Ctrl Shift L. Directly it will apply the filters. So here what you have to do, one filter is like greater than 50%. This is delivery percentage here. Okay. And there is one more column which is known as turnover, how much trading has happened. Here you should, you know, you can here also you can put a filter of like more than 5,000. You'll get limited like 66 companies here. Okay. And then here just give a look if some sector specific companies are there, or if there is a company which is coming up with some kind of financial announcement. If those kind of companies are here, then you can pick that for investment. Can you get me?
Yes, sir.
For example, let's say you have checked out Britannia here. Okay, let's say Bharti Airtel you have checked out. So this is like one way. Then to, you know, confirm it, you have to, what you have to do is select here Bharti. Okay, wait. Here I have selected past 1 month. Okay, and now I want to see the data. So now this is giving me complete data of Bharti Airtel from last 1 month. Okay. So if you just look at here, the deliveries on 18th, that is Friday, was the highest in last. From this is the highest one. You can say that is the second highest one. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if such kind of scenario you are there, you can go for it. For example, if you just look at this one, 27th May, there was very high volumes, right? If I just want to show you 2 months also, this is when once you have found out in stock, then you have to do. So now I'm just looking at 3 months data. Okay. So in 3 months, this is what we were looking at. On 27th, there was very high delivery. This is highest in the past. Okay. In last one month or 45 days, there is no delivery quantity more than this. So this could be picked up. This will give you easy 10 to 15% or even more than that. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So this is the process. You have understood what all things we are doing here.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So if there is no doubt, can we move further? Anything else you guys
Yes,
want
sir.
to ask? Related to investment, anything? How has been the market last 1 week? All right.
Yeah, Kabir, I only
Mhm.
monitor US market.
Yeah. No problem. See, here one thing I'll tell you, as the market was correcting, understand this thing that if the market is falling like it was falling in last 1 week, it is very normal that, you know, some of your investment can be, going down with the market. That is very normal thing, because when market is bearish, it is eventually evident that your investment can also correct with the market. The problem is when the market is going up and your investment is not giving you return. So in such scenarios, you can hold on your positions, and when the market is stabilized, again starts going up. Eventually, all your stock will come around cost to cost, or it may also give your targets. So you should not, you should be patient whenever the market is correcting like this. You have to hold on all your positions. Okay. And if
When I ask about,
Yeah.
sir, continue.
Your voice is not clear, Sam.
Sir, you can continue, sir.
So you should understand when market is going. You should be little patient, okay? And if your positions are little in profit, you can book your profit because market is correcting. So you may lose out on that profit. So what you can do as a plan of action is that you can book your profits, hold on some capital. When the market will go down, many companies, many shares will go down. You can eventually catch them at a better price, okay? And if you feel the market is very bearish, it can go very down. So reduce your quantities. If you have 100, close of 50 quantities, 50 you can hold. Okay, this you can do if you are very bearish on the market. At present, what I feel is market is not that bearish. It is just the profit booking which has triggered up because of federal meeting which has come up in last 2-3 days. Eventually it will go up because there is no bad something is happening. All good is happening. Corona is going off. So I'm expecting Nifty will hit 16,000. It is a matter of time. So that is how you should, plan and take some actions when such scenarios are happening. And remember that the only problem with your investment should be when the market is going up and your investment is, or your company where you have invested is not going up. Okay, that time what you can do is you can switch your capital. You can close off that, invest somewhere else. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what we'll do today is that we'll study about options and futures. Okay. Do you guys have an idea regarding this? Do you guys have idea? What is options? What is
Yes, sir.
futures?
Normal ideas regarding options.
Okay. So I'll explain you what options are. Okay. Just okay. So in options, there are 3 things you have to understand. So there are 3 things in options. One is ITM, ATM, and OTMs. These are basically, strike price. So if you just look at this option chain, this is Nifty option chain here. In the center, can you see there is a strike price? Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is the strike price. That means if you just look at Nifty, so this is Nifty. Nifty is trading around 15,790. This is the strike price. The difference, if you just go down, okay, this is where the market is running at present. If you see the strike price difference is of almost 50, 15,700, 15,650, 600, 550. On the downward side, 15,750, 800. So there is a 50 gap between the strike price. At each strike price, there are few contracts which are traded. How the contracts work, let me tell you. For example, you want to buy a flat. Okay. So what you'll do initially, you'll pay some initial amount. Like if the flat is of 50 lakhs, you'll pay 1 lakh or 2 lakhs just to confirm that you will buy it after some particular days. This is what we do normally. Yes or no?
Correct.
Yes.
Right. So you pay some amount and tell them that, on this day, I will pay the remaining amount. This is what we do. So now you are entering into a contract which which has an expiry, that if you did not pay a certain amount on that particular day, that contract will be null and void, right? This is what the meaning is,
Yes.
right? Same thing happens in options also. At each strike price, there is a contract which is traded. And of course, every contract has some deadline, which is known as expiry. On expiry days, Thursdays market are very volatile. You would have heard this many times. So that is expiry when the contract is getting, null and void. The contract is getting closed. So here there is a catch. So here I was giving you an example of real estate. For example, you have paid, 1 lakh rupees for a property of 50 lakhs. And you are telling that remaining 49 lakhs you will pay after certain time, let's say 1 month. But in between, what has happened in the apartment where you were booking a flat, in that apartment, all the flats are booked. So when in an apartment, all the flats are booked, eventually the price of flats are, generally it goes up because all the empty flats are filled now. When there is no empty flat, the eventually price will go up. Supply and demand, simple logic. Correct? That is normal.
Yes.
Right. So now what happens in that matter of 1 month, let's say 50 lakhs flat price goes to 80 lakhs or 70 lakhs. Okay. It has increased now by 10 lakhs. Let's say 60 lakhs it has happened. So you have only invested 1 lakh, but if you want, you can sell your flat at 60 lakhs. Can you do that? Because you are in a contract from somebody, you can take 60 and pay 50 to the owner with whom you have entered a contract. Remaining is your commission, or you can say profit. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is how option works. So if you see, if you want to buy 1 share of Nifty, the price is 15,700. But here, instead of paying 15,700, you take a contract where you only pay very less amount, which is this last traded price, 100, 140, 85. By paying a very small amount, you are entering into a contract. Okay. And this contract has of course, an expiry, which I'll explain you. But now let's see just the same example. When your flat price increased from 50 to 60, if this Nifty price increases from 15,700 to 800, 100 rupees increases there. Eventually, this last traded price will also increase by 100. So here, what is happening? You only paid 100 and the price is increasing by 100. So you are getting 100% increase. Understood this point?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is how option work, because you pay very small amount, but if the actual prices increases by 100 points, 50 points, equal amount of profit you'll get on your contract value, which is this last traded. Here there is one more thing. Let's say instead of going at 15,800, Nifty goes to 15,600. It has decreased by 100, right? So whatever amount you have paid initially 100, that value will also decrease. Okay, it may become 109. From 100 it will become 50, and by the expiry, if the Nifty is not reaching here, that value will become 0. So there is a lot of risk also involved, plus you can make a lot of profits also, because you pay very small amount, and if the market goes up, your small amount gives you multiple times of return or good percentage of return. But eventually, if it is not going, you may lose out also. If you have paid this 100, it may become 0. That is how it works. This contract concept is clear for now. Everybody?
Yes. Good.
Rest, I think only Vasu is telling yes. Abhijit is just now, he has joined. Isam Sheikh, you are here. Achyutanand, you are here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So give me a minute. Okay. Right. So this is how contracts are there. This is strike price. So this is an option contract. In options, we have strike price and expiry also. Similar way, there is a contract which are traded in futures also. Okay, I'll explain you that as well. So how this future works? In futures, instead of buying contracts at strike price, you can buy contracts for months. Okay, in Nifty, you can buy it for weekly also, but in stocks, you can buy it for, let's say now this is Now this is June, July, August. For next 3 months there would be a contract running. Okay, for 3 months you can buy it. You can buy it for this month, then July, and then August. This is how you can enter. What the catch in futures is that, see, the price of, let's say, Reliance. Okay, so if you just see Reliance, if I click on this futures, can you see here June, July, August, 3 months are there? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you have 3 months contract and you can enter in this. Okay, and what is happening here? If I just select July, okay, this is July contract of, this is June contract of Reliance. When you are trading in futures contract, so if you want to buy one share of Reliance, the price is 2025, 2225. But when you are trading in futures, you take a contract, you again pay a very small amount. Instead of 2000, 225, you will only pay, let's say, per share, per share 500. Okay, that is 1/4. Only 1/4 you will pay, and you will take a contract that, market can, if the market goes up, of course you'll get profit. If the market goes down, if Reliance goes down, you'll get loss. So here the catch is, if in contracts you cannot buy one share, it is lot which is traded. For Nifty, the lot size is 75. Similarly, Reliance will also have certain lot size. If the lot size is of 50, 40, so you'll have to minimum buy 40, and the price of per share there would be like 1/4. It's stock wise it is decided. Okay, so you pay very less amount. Instead of, if you want to buy 40 share of Reliance and you multiply it by 2225, you'll have to pay some big amount. But when you are trading in futures, by just paying 1/4 of it, you can enter into a contract. And now if the price of Reliance goes from 2025, let's say 200 points up, okay, so you are earning that 200 points on a small capital invested. Can you get my point? Let's say
Yes. But do we need to buy at that price or just sell the futures once you are
selling, and you can do this buying also. See how you do it in stocks.
okay?
Okay, similar way we are doing it here. For example, let's say if you want to buy 40 shares of Reliance, so you'll have require investment of this much, 89,000. But even when you take a futures contract, you will not pay 80,000. You'll get some leverages. You'll only pay, like, let's say 1/4. Only, let's say 30,000 you'll pay. Just paying 30,000, you'll get 40 shares. And if market goes from, this Reliance goes from 2,225 to 2,500, so there is an increase of 275, right? 40 into 275 is what? So you're getting a 11,000 profit on an investment of 30,000. How much this is of 30,000?
Around 35%.
Around 33 to 35%. So just on a small investment, if this Reliance goes up, you'll get this much return. Okay, if at all it goes down by, let's say, 500 points, so how much loss you'll get? That is possible, right? Reliance can go down by 500 points. Possible or not?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you'll get a loss of 20,000 on an investment of 30,000. If it is going 500 points down, you may lose out on 20,000. You'll only left with 10,000 of your capital, and you cannot hold it because these contracts have an expiry. Last Thursday of every month in stocks, it is an expiry. So you have to close your positions or carry forward it to the next contract. Okay, here the catch is they are giving you a leverage, but there is an expiry. Whatever profit, loss, whatever you you are having, that should happen, till the expiry. After that, it is automatically closed. This futures concept is clear.
Yes, clear.
Right, so this is how futures work. In options, they, instead of month wise contracts, there is a contract at every strike price. Okay, as we were just looking at Nifty chart, right? Nifty option chain, at every strike price there are contracts which are traded, and then there are call contracts, put contracts. Call means if you are bullish on a market, you buy a call contract. You are expecting that the market will go up, and if the market is going up, the last traded price at this strike price, which is 111, if the market is, Nifty is going upward, this will increase. If the market is going down, this will decrease. There is opposite also, which is known as put contract. If you are bearish on the market, you buy a put contract, and if the strike price is this, the last traded price is 80. So if the market is falling, then the price of a put contract will increase, and if the Nifty is going upward, the value of this will decrease. This is clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, please ask me. Okay? This is little difficult who are not familiar with options, but if you study this carefully, you will get an idea. Not very difficult thing. This is how basically call and put works. So if you just look at here on the left side, there is a call contract which is there. All call contracts at different strike price, at 15,700, at 50,650, 600. They are contracts which are being traded, and the last traded price of these contracts are 175, 213, 254, 298, 343. So these are the contract values which are running. Okay, and each strike price there is a contract. So if you want, you can buy any of it, but then there should be a logic. To understand this, now let me tell you about one more concept, which is known as ITM, ATM, and OTMs. So basically, if you just look at the call contract here, this is where the Nifty is at present, correct? Around 15,000, around 15,700 around Nifty is trading. If you just look at here, it will show up. Okay, so Nifty is trading around this one, 15,700. So this is your at the money strike price, which is known as ATM. At present, the Nifty is nearer to this one. Is it clear? What is ATM?
Yes, sir.
What is ATM?
At the market price.
At the market. Okay, where the Nifty is nearest to which strike price? This is your at the money, strike price, and this is the contract value of it. Similarly, clear, right? So there is a call contract which is being traded at the money strike price, which is 15,700, and the price of that contract is 111. Okay. There are two more contracts. One is known as in the money and one is known as out the money. What is in the money contracts? So whichever strike price on the call side, which is below 15,700, which is your ATM, 15,700 is your at the money price. Okay? At the money strike price. So whichever strike is lower than that, that is your in the money strike price. These all are your in the money. That means Nifty has already crossed that. Nifty has crossed 15,600. It is at 15,700. Similarly, all these strike prices are below that. And if you just look at the last traded price of these, are higher than the below ones. Yes or no? Yes or no? The last traded price of in the money options are lesser, are greater than out the money. This is the strike price, which is above it. Can you spot the difference?
Yes, sir.
Can you guys spot it?
Yeah, for the above part, the price is high, and
Lower
below
part
the
price
ATM.
is less.
Yeah.
So why the price is high, you understand, because Nifty has, is trading above these strike price. That's the reason the price is high. Okay. And each contract, here there is one more concept which is known as, how these contracts are made. Each contract has some time value and has some price value. So these are the two things for each contract. Price plus time value. Time is what? The expiry. Till expiry you have time. Yes. In Nifty we have weekly expiries also. Every Thursday is an expiry in Nifty. In stocks we have monthly expiries. So time value, which is your expiry. Till expiry you have time. So value of that would be certain value will be there. Okay. Price value, how it is calculated. Understand, if Nifty is 100 points above 15,600. So if you just look at here, if Nifty is at present 15,700, at 15,600, the value of the contract is 175. And at present, Nifty is 100 points above this strike price of 15,600. So this will have 100 rupees, almost 100 rupees of price value, and remaining is its time value. 100 rupees plus 75. This is what the last traded price is, right? At 15,600 strike. Yes or no? This is the price, right? Just look at here at 15,600. The last traded price of the contract is sorry, not here. Right. So the last traded price is this 14. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
This is the last traded price of 14. So this 14 will have certain price value and certain time value. Okay. Right. So if you just look at here, this has, I think in that view, it was showing wrong. So the price is 175 only. Okay. So if you just look at here, the contract value is 175. This IV price was showing in LTP. Is it clear? The last traded price is 175 for this contract. Can you notice that?
Yes.
Clear, right? So Nifty, 100 plus. Here, why I have taken 100 is because Nifty is trading 100 points above that strike price, almost. To be approximately, I'm taking here. So it has 100 points of price value and 75 points of time value. This time value by expiry will become 0. Okay, only thing what will be left is this price, that is 100. If Nifty expires at the current price which is running, so this 15,600 strike contract value will be around 100 rupees, 75 around will be the time value which will become 0, because by expiry the time is completed, right? Whatever the life this contract was having, that has become end, that is completed, so it will become 0. Only value which will be left is the price value. Is this clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So now tell me, at 15,550 the last traded price is 213. What would be the approximate price value and time value of this? See, this concept is important to understand. Try to answer me. What can be the approximate?
150 plus 63.
150 would be almost the price value of it, and remaining would be time value. Okay. Is it clear? Are we on the same page?
Yes, Kabir.
Right. Now tell me what is the, price value and time value in 15,900. Isam Sheikh, you are here.
Yes, sir.
Right. Tell me what is the price value in this last traded price and time value and last traded price at 15,900. Come on, at least you can guess the wrong answer also.
Could be around 30 plus.
See, understand Nifty has still not reached this place of 15,900. So this one is not having any price value at present. It is only having time value. Is it clear? Because see, when the Nifty will reach here, by that time it will start developing the price value. Until that, it will only have time value in it.
Okay.
Right. So this is if Nifty is not reaching at 15,900, the price of this will become zero, because this is only having time value in it. Time values, again, there is few things in it which is known as IV is there, which is a very deep concept. Okay. To be precise, time value we can call it. After that also, if you want, there are three things in that. That is alpha, beta, gamma. Each has some significant in terms of volatility. Okay, and it is calculated how much contracts are traded, and then this time value is also calculated. So even basically you can understand that this is the time value at present, and all these strike price which are above ATM, that is 15,700 at the money strike, are all your out the money strike price. In out the money strike price, you will only have time value, and eventually when this becomes at the money or in the money, they will start developing price value, and a price time value will be there. But till the time Nifty is not reaching 15,900, it will only have time value in it. Is it clear?
15,700 में जो स्ट्राइक प्राइस है 111, उसमें से टाइम वैल्यू क्या है और
Acha, actually your voice is very low. Did anyone heard it properly? Achyutanand ji, you were asking, right? Your voice is very low. Can you speak a little bit louder?
15,700 का जो स्ट्राइक प्राइस है उसमें से टाइम वैल्यू क्या है और स्ट्राइक प्राइस क्या है?
See, at present, at ATM, what happens? This is also having all time value in it, because Nifty is at present here. So this is not having much price value. All time value is there. If price goes to 15,750, then it will start developing price value. It will become 142 around. If Nifty goes from 15,700 to 15,750, it will increase by 50. And this 142 price you see here. Okay, so that this above 100, whatever is there, will be your price value, and remaining will be time value. Got this point?
Yes.
Achyutanand?
जी
You got this point. See, if Nifty is going at 15,750, at 15,700, this strike price will become 142, which is at present running here, because Nifty will go above, above one strike price. So this 111 will become 142 around, and then it will have certain price value and certain time value. At present, this will only have time value itself only, and this will become like 5 rupees, 4 rupees by the expiry. Okay, is it clear?
yes sir.
Right. So now you have to understand one important thing, that we were speaking about ITM, ATMs and OTMs, right? So ATM will have price value plus time. Here you will only have time, and here also you'll only have time. So these two, whatever contract value will be having in ATM and OTMs will almost become zero by the expiry. But in ITMs, there would be certain price value which will be left. This is what we have discussed. Everybody clear with this?
Yes, sir.
So we were speaking about call contracts. So this is the ATM, that is 15,700, where the market is, that is your at the money strike price. Whichever strike price below that is your in the money for call contracts, and above that is your out the money strike price for out the money contracts. This is also clear to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, if this is clear, similar way, these were call contracts we were discussing. We have put contracts also. Okay, in put contracts, what happened? You can say this 15,700 is like a ATM. Okay, you can say this also. Both these are like nearest to the current market price. So both can be considered as ATM, or you can say this also as ATM. Matter is, it's one and the same. Okay. So this is, if you just see 15,750 is the ATM price or nearest strike price, okay, to the current market. And in this, because this is a put contract, the price of this will increase when the market will fall. Okay, when the market will fall, then the price of this will increase. So if you just look at 15,700, 650, 600, all these contract values are very less. And 800, 850, 900, these contract value are higher. That means, Nifty has already, if it is going down, it has already crossed 800, 15,850, 15,900. So this is your in the money option, which has price value and time value in it. These are all ATMs which only have time value in it, which will become zero by expiry. Okay, vice versa. Here in call side, below we had in the money. In put side, we have higher strike price as in the monies and lower strike price as out the money options. Is it clear?
और opposite call का
Opposite, exactly opposite. Yeah. Okay, exactly opposite is there. So you can understand that every strike price, there are put contracts and there are call contracts which are being traded. Here I'll tell you one more thing. Who makes this contract? When you are buying a flat, the owner is somewhere, he has the property. So he has the contract at present. He can make the contract and that contract can be signed. Here also somebody will, make the contract, right? Those are the people which are known as option sellers. Sellers do option, they make the contracts, or the option writing is also the same thing. They do option writing and then buying has happened. No need of going deep into that. You have to understand sellers are the one who do option writing. Okay. One more thing here I'll tell you, when you are talking about options, on the downward side, if let's say you have taken this contract by paying 85 rupees, what is the maximum risk you have? Somebody answer this. If you buy something by paying 85, you have bought a contract. If let's say, the price of that property, or let's say this one goes to 16,000, almost 1,700 rupees it has fallen, but you only paid 100. What you can do is, you cannot pay the because it was just a contract. And if you want, you can, not pay the remaining amount. But whatever amount initially you have paid is gone. The owner will not return you. This is what happens, right? If you want, you can change up your mind. But whatever amount initially you paid will not be returned. This is what happens in real world also. Correct?
Yes.
The same thing happens here also. If Nifty falls below, like let's say 200, 300 points, but you only paid 85, So your maximum risk is of only 85 points. And if Nifty is going below that, this will become 0. And in minus, it cannot go. So your maximum risk is only 85. If it is going below that, this will become 0. You lose out on 85 rupees what you paid. But if it is increasing, it can go up. Nifty can rise up by 200, 300, 400 points. Your 100 rupees or your 85 rupees value will increase by similar 100, 200, 300 rupees. Just by paying 100, just by paying 85 rupees, you may get a profit of 300, 200 rupees, which is double or even triple. Okay, so when we are doing option buying, there is a certain limited risk. On the upward side, there is immense return, you can get it. But when you are doing option selling, the scenarios are vice versa. The maximum profit the option seller who has done writing here, who has made this contract, the maximum profit he can get is 85 rupees. On the upward side, he have maximum risk. Are you guys with me to understand this?
Yes, sir.
Vasu, Abhijit?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now you should understand why somebody is doing an option. Why would somebody do option selling when there is unlimited risk for them? Just for this 85 rupees, they will not do it. Okay, the reason behind that is that in Nifty, time is something which is in their favor. If Nifty is not giving that move, eventually they'll get complete amount. And what these sellers do, they will not buy nakedly. That means they will just not directly sell this one. They will hedge it. Okay, if they are selling this one, they'll also sell a far one off. So they are in a way hedging. If they are selling a call, they'll also hedge it for safety purpose on put side. Okay, I'll explain you that as well. Just give me a minute. Okay. Right. So if somebody is doing option selling, you understand that they do it with a lot of logic. And option sellers are the one who drive the market. They are the one who have a lot of capital. This is the fact. Okay. Nobody will take unlimited risk unless until he does not have a lot of money or he does not have logic behind it. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you have to understand option sellers are the one who move this market. Okay, because they have a lot of capital in stake. If somebody is buying, he is only investing 85 rupees. The risk is also 85. But when somebody is doing option selling, understand he has unlimited risk. So that's why it is said that option sellers are the one who decided what side the market can go. Okay, I'll explain you that concept as well. But let us understand one more thing here. That is, if you just look at here, these are the expiries which are written. Okay, on 24th June, 1st July, 8th July, 15th July. Every Thursday, if you just look at the calendar also, every Thursday we have a expiry in Nifty. Same is there in Bank Nifty. Every Thursday, every week there is an expiry, and then at every expiry there are contracts at each strike price. You can pick up any strike price and you can do it. If you just look at 24th July expiry, and this is the option chain. What is the price of the contract at 15,700? What is the price? 111. Okay. So now if I just change the weekly expiry date from 24th June to 1st July, which is the next expiry. What is the price of this contract? Same strike price, just different expiry. And from 111, you can understand there is an increase of 70 rupees. 180 is the contract value. Why this is 180? Same strike price, just because expiry date are different, the value is increased, right? Why that is there?
Time value.
Time value increase.
Time value. You have one more extra week. That's the reason 70 rupees is the time value in it. If Nifty is expiring around 1st July, around this point, 70 rupees is your direct profit. Okay, even if it lasts till last Friday, if Nifty is around 15,700, you'll get 70 rupees of direct profit. Okay, that is the thing. One more thing I'll tell you here. If Nifty goes also from 15,700 to 15,750, 50 rupees increase, till you will be in profit. The reason is, see, 75, almost 70 rupees of direct decay would be there because of time thing. If the Nifty only goes up by 50 points also, you will be in a straight profit of around 20 some points by 24th June, which is the next expiry. But again, it will have certain value because 1 week still is there. By the expiry, this will become like 1 or 2 rupees, and these all out the money will become zero. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me?
Yeah, but a little bit confused.
See, I'll tell you one very simple thing. Okay. The person who is doing option writing, okay, he will not do option writing in this week. To explain that, I'm explaining you this concept. Okay. Doing option writing in the present week is a risky task for option sellers. So what they do is they do option selling in far away expiries. Okay. The reason is because far away expiries have higher time value in it. So if I'm an option seller, instead of doing option selling in this week contract, I'll pick up next, after 2 weeks contract, I'll pick up because that has a bigger time value. For option seller, time is their friend. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me?
Yes.
So this is their buffer which they have. So if you just look at 15,700, this is 1st July expiry. It has 180 rupees present value. So the option seller has a buffer of 180 rupees. If the market is not, going 180 points above or below above it, if it is going, below it, fine, because this is a call contract. But if it is not going 180 rupees above it, he would always be in profit. Similarly, here one more thing I'll tell you now. Let's say 26th August, okay? Or let's say 18 August, almost 1 month. All right, after 1 month, correct?
2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. So let's say July, okay, instead of this one. Let's take July. So this is the ATM. What is the price of it? 277, right?
Yes.
So after 1 month, if the price is somewhere 15,700, this complete thing is his profit. And if you just look at here, LTP at 15,800 is 4,826, 310. These scenarios will be there in the far away expiry. There would be certain price change. So if somebody is selling it at this, okay, so and Nifty is not trade, if it is not going above it like 400 points, this option seller will always be in profit. You must calculate what is the maximum move Nifty has given in 1 month. So Nifty hardly gives maximum 500 points, 600 points move it can give in 1 month. After that there would be corrections, there would be a lot of things. These option sellers, what they do, they take the benefit of time and they they do selling at these contracts, and of course they play with time. You have to understand this. Okay, so if you want to do option selling, picking up a far away expiries is a better option. Okay, many people, I'll tell you here, they who has the capital, they'll do option writing in like 1 month, like after 1 month expiry, 2 months expiry. And if the stock or this price is not moving, eventually they keep on gaining money. So this is one concept. Now I'll tell you about buying also, right? how we can do buying, that also I'll tell you now. Okay, this is clear, right? Whatever we have discussed, you have understood what is time value, how it decays, how you can do simple option writing. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, this is one thing. There are many advanced thing also. Okay, few things I'll tell you, few things you try to explore, because option in itself is a very big concept. Okay, if I keep on doing it, another 8 to 9 days will take it. So I'll tell you the foundation of it. After that, you keep on exploring, keep on learning, it will happen. Okay, it is not something which is, you cannot do it. You can do it, it will take time. And understand whatever we have discussed is applicable in futures option. Price action is something which is supreme. And then these call contracts are there, put contracts are there. This is futures chart, right? Same candlesticks, same everything is there. Just the thing is, instead of buying stock, you buy a contract here. And of course, because you are entering a contract by paying some small amount, your risk is like, if you paid 200 rupees for the contract, complete 200 is your risk. That's why what happens in futures option is that people who who do trading in futures option without knowledge, because their complete capital is at risk, and by expiry, if they're whatever they are thinking is not happening, complete capital will vanish. You would have heard many people lose out in lakhs in options and in futures, because they are risking out complete capital. Right? For example, if you buy Reliance one share, it will not become zero, right? It can go up to 1500. You can hold it. But in futures and option, you cannot do it. You'll have to close it by expiry. That's why there is, people say there is unlimited risk also in options. Can you guys understand why options are little riskier, but it can reward you also in the similar way? This is understood.
Yes, Kapil.
Yeah. So now to explain you the strategy which we have, basically you have to understand what scalping is. Okay, scalping is something where you enter into some stock for a very small time. It could be like 30 seconds to 5 minutes or 10 minutes. The time should be very less. That is when you are doing a scalping. Okay, when we were using a 15 minutes time frame, we are seeing 15 minutes candle, right? To get your targets, you may have to sometime wait for an hour, or let's say 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours also you'll have to wait. But in scalping, when you are entering, you enter for very small time, and you don't look for very big profit also. That is what scalpers do. They enter quickly, they exit quickly. So we have a strategy based on scalping, and okay, which you can do in options. For that purpose, we use two indicators also. You guys have understood what scalping is, first of all. When you are entering into a trade for a very small time, that is known as scalping. To be very specific. Is this clear? Before I explain you further things.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. So I have explained you about an intraday strategy based on 15 minutes. This is not a scalping strategy. When we are using a 15 minutes time frame, you are not doing scalping. You are doing normal intraday trading where you can hold on for the entire day and you can wait for the target. For scalping, we use a 15 minutes. We use a 3 minutes time frame. The time frame we choose is small, which is of 3 minutes. Okay, and then there are two indicators also which we use. Just let me share the PPT. You'll get an idea regarding it. Is the screen clear? Is
Yes,
it clear?
sir.
Yes.
Right. So there are few things we have to understand for this scalping strategy, which is implemented on Bank Nifty, and you can do it in stocks also. I'll explain you how you can do it. You can apply it anywhere. Simple things you have to understand. These are block candles. Can you spot this? Block candles we have learned, right, already?
Yes.
Yes.
Without a wick.
Somebody said no, right? We all know, right, what a block candle is?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. So these are the block candles which have negligible wick. Okay. The shadows will not be there, or if they are there also, it will be very small. Then we use two indicators. One is a moving average, one is an RSI indicator. I'll explain you this about these two indicators first, and then we'll move further. And the time frame I've already told, we use 3 minutes. And we use at the money strike price here. These are the few things regarding the strategy. So first, let me tell you about a moving average. If you just go in anyone, okay, just let me just log in into my account. Let me explain you one step. Fine. So this is how it will look like. Normally in Zerodha Upstock, user interface is almost similar. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to apply few indicators for this strategy. One indicator is of moving average. Just type moving average here. You have to select this simple moving average. Okay, there are two types of indicators, basically exponential moving average and a simple moving average. We use simple moving average, and by default when you select this is how it will look like. There would be a this type of this type of line which will be plotted, and this is a by default 9 moving average. Okay, what is the meaning when there is a when there is 9 here? So this moving average, how is calculated, you have to understand. When the period is 9, to plot this line here, it is calculating the close value of last 10 candles. If I just want to say here, the moving average value of this is here. You are seeing, right? At present, if I just place here, the moving average value is 540. Can you see that 540.3278?
Yes.
Can you guys see? So this is the moving average value. How this is calculated? They have taken the average of last 9 candles close and then add them, divided by 9, you'll get an average. That is how average is taken. Correct? Any doubt in this? To calculate this 540, last 9 candles close value has been added and divided by 9. You get an average of last 9 candles, which is 540.3278. Clear, everybody? How this 9 moving average is
Yes,
plotted?
sir.
So it is 9 candles close price.
9 candles close price average.
Yeah, I mean.
Divided by
Okay. So this is how it is taken. Exponential, there is one more thing which is known as exponential moving average, which we are not using. In that, what happens, instead of the last candle close, there what will happen, they will give a higher priority to the nearest close. That is this one. This is the nearest close candle. This will have a higher priority. The one which is below will have little lesser priority than the last candle. So in exponential candles, the nearest close candles have the highest priority, and the last candle, when the period is 9, so the 9th candle from here will have the least priority. That is exponentially they are calculating the average. That is the only difference. So we use a moving average, which is simple moving average, and the time period we are using in our strategy is 20 moving average. Okay, 20 moving average. That means when we have moving average plotted on our chart, it is calculated based on last 20 candles. Correct? This is the meaning, yes or no? So the
Yes.
purpose is using of 20 moving average is that we have taken more candles because we want this line to be little stable. When this line is taking less candles in account, it will be fluctuating very fast. But when you use 20 candles, the fluctuation will be slow. So you can understand, how this moving average is changing. Basically, this moving average, we use it for understanding the trend. If you just look at this moving average is giving you downward movement, right? Downward slope. So that means this particular share is in the downward side. So we use 20 moving average to understand the trend. Okay. This is clear. Understood how moving average is plotted and what is the use of moving average. This is clear.
Yes.
Right. So I'll tell you about RSI also and then I'll explain you further. RSI is an indicator which gives us the strength of the move. This is how an RSI looks like. Okay. There are many ways of using RSI. This is one of the very good indicators. Moving average and RSI are the two top-notch, used indicators. I'll tell you, I have already explained moving average. In RSI, this tells us the strength of the move, how strong the momentum is. Okay, if you just look at this RSI, it is having values from 100 to 0 and in between 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30 is there. Can you see that scale? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So generally how people use RSI, I'll tell you. Okay, when this RSI value is above 70, like in this case, just look at the values here. In this case, the RSI value went up till 76. Okay, what people say, what experts say, when the price value has reached above 70 in some particular stock, that means it is in the overbought zone. That is, overbuying has happened in that, and that particular share can come down. That is how they look at it. If the RSI value is below 20, that means it is oversold. A lot of selling has happened, it can reverse anytime. That is that is how people use it. Clear? So RSI tells us basically overbought and oversold. This is, and if the RSI value is above 70, experts say that it has been it is in the overbought zone. And when the RSI value is below 20 or below 30, people say that the stock is oversold now. It can go up. Right? We use it in a little different way. As this indicator tells us the strength of the move. So this is the upper limit, lower limit. Above upper limit is your overbought zone. Below 30 is your oversold zone. This is clear to everybody? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Everybody?
सर जो टाइम फ्रेम है उसका अलग अलग होता है ना, उसी हिसाब से अलग अलग दिखता है, जैसे 4 आवर का अलग दिखाता है.
Yeah, every time frame will have its own. See, at present, this moving average, we have used 4 hours. So this moving average is calculated based on 4 hours candles. If I select 3 hours here, it will give me moving average value or RSI value of 3 hours, 3 minutes. So every time frame will have its own moving average RSI values. Just like I have told you before, every time frame will have its own support and resistance. In the similar manner, every time frame will have its own moving average and their own RSI. Is it clear? Any other doubt you are asking? Achyutanand? Are you clear here?
yes, sir.
Right, your voice is very low. Try to use a mic if possible. Okay, right. So every time frame will have its own. So we use RSI in a little different way. Okay. So we don't use upper limit and lower limit in this. We use simple single limit in this. We only look at the center one line in this, that is at 50. I have changed the upper limit and lower limit to 50 in this. Clear? Is it clear what I have done here?
Yes.
So the reason of doing this is understand RSI basically tells us the strength of the move. And when this RSI value is crossing 50, eventually it is giving us an understanding that strength of the move is going towards buy side. If for example here the value is going upward, that means it has just the strength of the move is towards buy side because it has crossed 50. And eventually it can go from 50 to 70, 80 and it can rise. Similarly, if the RSI value is going below 50, eventually we get an understanding that the move is bearish now. Is it clear what I want to say?
Yes, but what is the typical range? Like,
No range in this. When the stock, see, if you want to understand overbought and oversold zone, you can follow 70-30. Okay, when the RSI value is above 70, you should be careful that stock can give correction because this is in the overbought zone. And when the RSI value is below 30 or around 20, that means it is on the oversold zone. So you should be careful that it can give a bounce from here. We don't use it overbought and oversold. We are not using here. Basically, we use RSI to find out the strength of the move. And if RSI value is going from below 50 to above 50, that means the strength is going towards the buy. Okay, and when the RSI value is falling from above 50 to below 50, it is going towards the bearish side. Strength is getting decreased. What I have just told is clear to you?
yes, yes.
So we are not using overbought and oversold concept here. We simply use one limit that is at 50. And when RSI value is above 50, we understand that the momentum is on the buy side. And when the RSI value is below 50, the momentum is on the bearish side. If it is the crossover from below 50 to above 50, if you just look at here, there is a crossover, right? Below 50, RSI value has gone above 50. Yes or no? It has happened or not here?
Yes, yes.
This scenario is where, we understand that the momentum is going from the sell side to buy side, and it can give a further upward move. Similarly, if you just look at here also, it went up and then again came back. It went up and again came back. So here we are understanding that the momentum of the this particular share is on the sell side. RSI value is coming from above to below. Okay, that is how we use. So we use two indicators, moving average, RSI, and a price action based candle, which is block candle. These three things are clear. Any doubt, please ask me. Or if it is clear, then also tell me you are clear with this.
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
Right. So now what you have to do. Okay. So let me tell you with Nifty, and then I'll explain you how you can apply it anywhere else. So basically, you have to find out a block candle and how to use moving average. I'll tell you RSI. Also, I'll tell you, you can use this. You can ignore this 3 RSI. At present, we are not using this. We use simple 7-period RSI. 7-period RSI. How you can change? At present, by default, it will be 14. You have to change that 14 to 7. We use 7-period RSI in this. And style may upper limit, lower limit, both should be 50. And this is how it will look like. 7-period RSI, 20 moving average, time frame of 3 minutes. And at the money strike price, you have to choose in Nifty and Bank Nifty. This can be used in Nifty, Bank Nifty options as well. This can be used in anywhere. Okay, basically a scalping strategy. So you are using an at the money strike price. What is the at the money strike price? Now just look at Nifty and tell me few things here. So this is Nifty, right? 18th June Nifty. At what price it has opened? Come on, guys, tell me fast. Be proactive.
15,761.
So at the money would be 15,750. Okay. If Nifty, from 15,750 it goes up till 500. At the money keeps on changing. So basically, whenever you are trading, that time whatever at the money strike price is, you choose that. If you are placing a fresh entry, or you're trying to take an entry around, let's say 10 o'clock, that time whatever is the ATM, take that. If you are trading around 12:30, whatever is the ATM, take that. With time, if the price is moving, ATMs keeps on changing. Correct? That will happen or not?
Yes, sir.
It will happen, right? Guys, tell me what is the ATM in this place at present. If I'm looking, Nifty is here. What would be the ATM? What would be the ATM strike price?
15,550.
15,550. Okay?
Yes.
That would be the ATM. In the morning, what was the ATM?
15,750.
So with the time, with the price, if the price is moving, the ATM is changing, yes or no? It is
Yes.
changing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So if you are trading in the morning, whatever is the ATM running in the market, running in the Nifty, take that. Okay. How you have to do it? Simply 15,750 was the running ATM, right? This is the ATM in the morning in Nifty. This was it or not? This was it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So what is the expiry here? 24 June. You can choose the current expiry in this. Okay, no issues with that. There is one more rule with the expiry which I'll tell you later. But for now, understand present week expiry, we take it. At present, the present week is 24 June, right? Because last Friday this is 24, which is the next expiry. You can take that. Take a call and take a put also. So these two are plotted, right? Two are here, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. This strategy can be used for both option selling and option buying. I'll explain you the buying part and then I'll explain you the sell part. This is call. Okay. We look for two things in this. There is a 20 moving average plotted. There is a RSI which is plotted. Now we look for two things. One thing is that we require a block candle. Okay. And this block candle, if you just look, there is a block candle here. This is 18 June. Can you spot a block candle? There is a block candle right here.
Yes.
Right. So this is a good block candle which has formed. RSI value is below 50. Block candle is there. You can simply scalp it here by placing a stop loss at the top and entering when this is completed. This you find a block candle. Okay, you can scalp it here. Here, one thing I'll tell you, this was a perfect entry because the RSI value was above in the first candle of the day, 3-minute time frame. The RSI value was above 50, and then with the block candle, it has come below. This is a perfect scenario. Sometimes when there is a huge gap up, it will take time for the RSI to give confirmation. You'll see a block candle, but this RSI value will not be below 50. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
So in this case, it was at the top, the RSI value was, it has opened above 50, and that with the block candle, it has came down. This is a perfect entry. Simply you can enter when the block candle is completed. Stop loss is at the high. And now let me just tell you the size of this candle. What is the size of this candle here? Just look at the high low close value from the top and tell me what is the size.
£10.
So 87 is the low, high is around 100, the size is of around 12 points.
12 points. Yeah.
Okay, to be precise, around 12 points is the size. When you find a block candle, whatever is the size, okay, that is your target. If you find a block candle of 12 points, 12 points is your target, and here it would have eventually given it because I see it has gone down. Okay. So this is a simple scalping strategy. Here, one more thing I'll tell you, this also could be considered for entry. If you guys remember when we were talking about block candle, I have clearly told when we look at a bearish block candle, we are fine if it has a lower, small, negligible shadow. But upper shadow is not something which we are fine with. I told this. Remember, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So if there is a bearish block candle with a very minute shadow, but in the top there is no shadow, we are fine with it, and the size is also cool. It is okay candle, not a small candle. Okay. So here, what we are checking out? First, this is the first entry. Okay, because there is a block candle, RSI value below it, moving average giving me indication of a downward slope. Can you check out the slope? It is downward, right? Yes. Here it became
Yes.
little flat, but overall, if you just look at it, is a downward. And this is a strong candle. Right? All confirmation. Here, if you just look at, if I'm looking at this one, downward slope, moving average, block candle, RSI value below 50. All conditions are cool. All conditions are fulfilling. So you can sell it here. Stop loss at the top. And once this, you see this candle, you can sell it. This is selling actually. Okay. In the put, there would be a buy signal when in this is call, right? In call, when there is a sell, in put, there would be a buy signal. Okay. I'll explain, show you that as well. So if you just look at here, you can sell and then again you'll get good profit. Here, one more thing I'll tell you. When this block candle is formed near to the moving average, in this case, this is near to the moving average, this is near to the moving average. But if you see somewhere here, which is far away from the moving average, those are not so good entries. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
if you see a block candle getting formed far away from moving average, ignore that. We need a perfect entry, and the perfect entries are near to the moving average when there is a block candle formed. And once you have got one or two good entries, for example, here you got one entry, here you got one entry. Now for getting the third entry, wait for this RSI to come above 50 and then go below 50. That would be your most perfect entry. For example, now again here it went up. It went up, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
RSI
Yes,
went
sir.
up. Again, there is a strong candle and it is going down. But here there is no block candle. This is not a block candle. This will also give you return, but these are not so perfect entry. You'll get idea. Okay, this is not so perfect entry. Here again, if you just look at it, came down again, struggling here. Now, if you just look at this moving average, it has become very slant. Basically, how we look at this, you have to look it in half screen. Okay, instead of full screen, you'll get confused. Now, if you just look at here, this moving average is very slant or not? Yes or no? if you just look at here, this has become slant or not. This is not an entry because this is not a block candle. Here also there is a candle, it has an upper shadow. Here there is looking like a block candle, but if you just look at the this slant, this moving average, this has become almost very flat. When the moving average is becoming flat, that time be careful. Okay, if you take this entry also, exit it with small loss. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Right, because in the best part of the strategy is that you get a very small stop loss and then you can trail it for target. First target would always be complete size of the candle and then you can trail it for bigger targets. Now just look at here. There is a block candle. Again, yes or no?
Yes.
RSI value going from below 50 to above 50.
Yes.
So two conditions are fulfilling, but if you look at this moving average, it is flat. Okay, or little down, you can say it is changing the direction. So these are the riskier entries. You should require the confirmation of this moving average. This moving average tells you the trend. In this case, when you just found out this candle, this moving average was downward. If you just look at this, little downward, or it is just looking like it will change. All good with this, but this moving average also you should look, and then you can go for it. Now, if you just look at here, again it has came down. In this case also 1:1 risk reward it has given, but this is not the best entry because moving average is not with you. Again it has came down. This moving average is very flat. When moving average is flat, ignore that time. Market is not moving. You may get stop loss hits. If you just look at, you can easily make out that moving average is very flat. Yes or no, you can make out or not? Can you make this out? Somebody tell me what is the trend of this moving average?
It's flat.
It is flat. So when this moving average is flat, ignore this. Okay. Now, if you just look, strong candle is there, block candle, moving RSI from below 50 to above 50, strong candle, moving average also giving signal for buy. So here, till this time it was very flattish, but now again it is trading upward. And here's anywhere if you find block candle or strong candle, this can also be considered because this has this is near to the moving average, and moving average is turning towards upside. So you can enter here, and if there is a nearer block candle, the bottom of that is your stop loss, and then you can wait for the target. Eventually it went up. Here also there is a block candle, but this is far from moving average. If you see here somewhere moving average, near to the moving average, block candle near to the moving average, that will give you a very good entry. Here also, if you just look at, again it came down, again going up with a strong candle. Okay, you can pick up. If you see, this is also a strong candle, but there is a minute lower shadow. So basically find a block candle kind of a pattern, and RSI from below to above it should go, and this moving average should give you uptrend or lower trend, and pick up an entry with very small stop loss. Go with very small stop loss for a target of 1:1.5 or bigger than that. And you have to be very careful when you are taking it. You have to be very quick. Are you able to understand this? See, this RSI is very strong thing. Okay, and if this RSI from below 50 or above 50 it is going, it is a signal that some good move can be seen. Okay, we are adding a moving average to it to give us the direction of the move. So if you use the RSI, candle size, and the direction, you'll get good result. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you one more thing here. In this strategy, if you just look in Nifty, in the entire day, you'll get around 5 to 6 entries. On normal days, you'll get 5 entries normally. How you'll get it, I'll tell you. So I have told you, right? ATMs, there is a call side ATM, there is a put side ATM. Apply, use, plot both of them on your chart like this. So one side you have put ATM, one side you have call ATM. Apply all the filters which you are there here also, like moving average, RSI, and all those. Okay, so if you just look at here now, one side we have, call, one side we have put. Wherever you are getting a block candle, you can take entry, considering the fact that this moving average is with you. In this case, in the morning, this was a bearish block candle, right? Yes, so you can sold it here. Sometimes when there is a bearish here, you find a, I think there is something wrong here. Right. No, this is complete. So if you just look at here, so there is a block candle in the 918 on 18th. Same time, there is a block kind of a candle here. And if you just look at here, this is a perfect entry. Block candle going from below, RSI value going from below 50 to above 50. And with a strong candle, there is a candle. Here also there is a sell entry. Here there is a buy entry. If you want to buy, you can buy it in the put side. If you want to sell, you can sell it on the call side. There is a benefit when you are doing selling. You can expect very big, you can expect a risk reward of 1:1.5. In this case, what was the size of the candle? What is the size here? What is the size? Somebody tell me fast.
10 points.
So when you take a sell entry, you can expect 15 points of first target. Okay, on sell side, we expect a better risk reward, because when you're doing selling, you have an advantage of time with you. Okay, due to time decay, you can get better move. On sell side, due to decay, the price movement on the downward side will be better. So you can expect 1:1.5 risk reward. But when you are doing buy, always remember that first target should be your 1:1 risk reward. If you have the stop loss of 10 points, 10 points is your target. After that, you can trail it. If you have taken 2 lots, 1 lot you close at first target and second lot put at cost to cost and trail it for the second target. That you can do. Depends what you want to do. If you want to do selling, if you want to do buying, if you have the capital, do selling, that is more profitable. Okay. Are you guys with me? Because stop loss is 10 points in this also 10 points. In one, we expect a better risk reward. In one, we don't expect better risk reward. Are you guys with me in this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everybody understanding what I'm saying here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. There is a good candle. Moving average also, it is now tilting towards upside. Again, you can go for it. If you just look at here, there is a candle which has a very big shadow. This is not a candle where you take entry. This, if you look, is looking like a perfect candle. Yes or no?
Yes.
Moving to near to moving average, and it is trend is upward. RSI value of this is around 70, above 50. If you take entry in this, what is the low of it? I'll explain another good concept here. What is the low of this?
215.
Be specific. 215.7, right?
Okay. Mhm.
Right. When we are keeping a stop loss, we always round off our values to the immediate, nearest number, whole number. Okay. So in this case, the low is 215.7. So we round off it to 215. Okay. Because, we keep our stop loss at a round off number. If similar way, if you just look at here, what is the high?
87.2.
We'll round off it to 88. When we are doing selling, the higher next whole number. When we are doing buying, the lower whole number. So in this case, we'll round off it to 215. In this case, we'll round off it to
88.
88. Okay. This round offing is very important, because when these in options, what happens, there would be a spike which will be near to it, around cost, around the bottom, they would be there. But if you do round offing, most of the time, it will not be hit. In this case also, if we just check out, it has just gone around 215 is the stop loss. It has gone 214.8. In this case, you would have hit the stop loss. Okay. But there would be scenarios when it will just reach to your bottom price, but to the round off number, it will not go. There would be many scenarios in that case. So always remember, your stop loss should always be a round off number. In this case, you would have got the stop loss hit, and then eventually it went up. Again, here there is a block candle, right? Yes. Yes or no?
Yes.
Here again, you can take entry because it was just near moving average, and again it is there. Here you would have got good return. More than 1:1, you would have easily got it. Whatever is the candle size, same target you are keeping. Remember, we are doing scalping. We are entering in 3 minutes. Whenever you get the target, you close off. Quickly enter, quickly exit. All right. And in the entire day, if you're getting 5-6 trades, out of those 1 or 2 stop loss, it will be there, and others you'll get the target. That's why if you have found out 5 entries in sell side, your risk reward is 1:1.5 minimum. In 1 or 2, if you hit the stop loss also, still you will be in good profit. But in buy side, if there are 5 trades, our risk is 1:1 of 10 points, target is also 10 points. That's the thing. If you can do selling in this, you'll get very good profit. If you are option lover, if you want to do options, here you would have got 1:1 risk reward. Again, look for an entry. Slope is downward, so you ignore this one. Slope should confirm. When we were talking about here, the slope was completely upward. So we can take here, we can take here. Don't do sell, don't do buying when the moving average is not giving you confirmation. You are understanding, right, why we are using a moving average here? Why we are using a moving average?
Trend
Just to see the strength.
identification.
To check the trend. The trend should be with you. You should not do, against the trend. You will lose out. Okay. This is a perfect block, right? Perfect block, moving average, signaling you little downward only. From here, if you just look, it is downward, right? Moving RSI value here coming from above 50, from below 50, perfect block. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
No. You can do selling. This is a sell candle, 1:1 risk reward. You can easily expect and you'll get it also. Okay. Again, here there is a strong candle, but this is not a block. Okay, so you can ignore. Again, here if you just look, this is if there was no upper shadow here also you could have done it, because perfect scenario, moving average going down, going downward, RSI from above 50, below 50, small shadow. Here there is a good block candle. Yes or no? All conditions fulfilling. Minute lower shadow, upper me there is no shadow. Moving average downward, RSI below 50. You can go for it. Here also you'll get 1:1.5 risk reward. Getting my point? Understanding this? Understanding, guys?
Yes, but for the last one, the moving average line is a little bit far, right?
See, just now it has RSI has crossed, right? So you can take up that risk. This RSI should not be trading for long below 50. Okay, he has just come up here and came down. Basically, what has happened here is buying has happened, and again selling is taking it down. You can consider the nearest good entry, you should take it. If after this you find one more far away, that you ignore.
Okay.
Nearest good entry, if you have taken, take it. If you find second entries, third entries far away from moving average, ignore. Okay.
Okay.
And when the RSI has crossed, RSI has giving you a signal. So nearest good entry, you take it. It will give you good return. Try to do selling. We also do selling. Let me tell you very frank. We do selling in this. We avoid buying because I've told you on sell side we get good risk reward. 1:1.5. Out of 5, if we get stop loss it in 1 or 2, in 3 if we get the target, still will be in good profit. Is it clear to you guys? And this is a scalping strategy. You don't have to sit in front of the system for long. Whenever you want to trade in the first 1 hour or in the last 1.5 hour, check out the setup. If you get the entry, take it, otherwise ignore. And in the entire day, if you want to do it in the day, you'll get easy 5 to 7 entries. In 1 or 2, you'll get stop loss. In remaining, you'll get the target. It's all about scalping me to maximize your profit and take small stop loss if they are getting it hit. Overall, you'll be in profit because this is a very good strategy. Okay, we have taken a separate seminar on this also, and there were like 50 people, and all those people are getting very good returns. So it's not just like, I'm telling you blindly. People are using it and they are making money. Are you guys clear how to find out? Are you guys clear with the setup? Moving average, RSI, trend, candle, what all things we are looking?
Yes.
What about rest? Achyutanand is here. He was telling me he has issues. Anyway,
sir.
this is clear. See, same strategy you can apply in stocks also. Stock selection I have already explained you. For let's say you have find out in stock based on news, based on any factor. Okay, let's say Adani is there. Same setup, same scalping setup you can apply to any stock of your choice which you have found out. Stock selection I have already told you, and you can apply it. But that particular stock should be volatile one. When you speak about, some stock like KPIT is there. These are very, sometimes in this, if I just plot you the chart, just see. The movement should be clear. In some stocks, there will not be any movement. In 3 minutes, there will be straight lines. So those one you have to ignore. Otherwise, you can trade in this also. All the things should be like this, I am telling you. So like this, stocks will be there in 3 minutes. So these types of you should ignore. Like Reliance is there. Adani Group companies are volatile one. Tata Steel. These types of stock which are volatile. Let's, for example, if I just show you Reliance. I think Reliance is already. So Reliance, if you just put the movement is clear, okay, in this. So what you have to do, moving average is giving you what signal? What signal is moving average giving you?
Uptrend.
Catch up a good block candle near to the moving average like this one, like this one. Keep the stop loss at the bottom and go for it. Like this is also a good candle. This is a big one you can ignore. Here there is a good block candle. Take it and it will give the target. So you are entering for a very small time. Let me tell you, in intraday, scalpers are the one who make good money. Okay. If you become good at scalping, you don't have to worry much. Come in last 1.5 hour or in the first 1.5 hour or do scalping, you'll get good return. Find a good stock which is giving you move. Look for the confirmation of a moving average in a block candle. It will give you the target. Like that, you can pick up any good stock, but that should be moving stock, not sideways. So that's why I have told you the stock selection techniques for intraday. Pick up a stock from there and then just look for confirmation of block candle in a moving average, and RSI, of course, it should also give you a little confirmation. RSI should be going from below to above 50. That time, if you catch up a block candle, very good. Or RSI should be above 50. This is how you should pick up. Work on this, practice this. It is easy to implement. You can apply the same on stocks, nifties, at the money strike price, or in the futures also you can do the same strategy. Plot this setup on futures. Stock selection I have already told you. One more thing I'll tell you about stocks here, about options. When Thursdays are there, when expiries are near, that time pick up the next week expiry on Thursdays or on Wednesday when you are trying to use this strategy. That time just take the next week expiry, because that time the last traded price or premiums are running very low, like 10 rupees, 30 rupees. That time you will not see the move. So better take a next week expiry. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, yes.
Nearest ATM or OTM is the nearest. Sometimes you can confuse, like if Nifty is 15,750. So the nearest OTM also is fine, 15,700. Nearest one is fine, or the ATM is what you should pick up. Right. So this is the strategy. I'll share the recording also of this. Watch it. Okay. If you have any doubt, ask me. I'll share the PPT also. Use it. Let me know if you have any doubt. We can have the session. Okay. Many people are missing out today. No problem. I'll share this recording with them. With this session, we have covered all our topics. Yeah, Achyutanand, you are telling me
Sir?
something. Yeah.
तो जो इंट्राडे या स्कैल्पिंग के लिए जो पर्टिकुलर कितना स्टॉक जो है ओके उसका लिस्ट जरा देंगे हमको, उसको हम हर दिन वाच करके कर पाएंगे जिसमें ज्यादा वोलेटिलिटी है.
See, stocks, everyday stock selection is there, right? There are 5 techniques which I have given you. You can watch. Simply what you do, one thing. If you want to practice for watching purpose, add 100 to 150 shares, or you can add 100, let's say. In the morning, whichever stock is in the direction of the Nifty, if the Nifty is positive, pick up good positive stocks from here, from the top percentage change. Okay. If the Nifty is bearish, pick up the good bearish stocks in the morning and apply that setup and watch out how they are working. Got it?
जो टॉप 10 है लूजर और गेनर जो है उसमें से चूज करना है.
Pick up, but don't pick up these penny ones. Okay, like FCOM, penny one, RCOM. Don't pick up this. Adani you can pick up. Adani Ports you can pick up. High price one you pick up. SDFC Life is a okay stock. Jubilant Footwork okay stock. Which have high price, you can pick up those. All Nifty 50 stocks will have high volatility. You can pick up those. Okay, I have told you before also, pick up those stocks for intraday which have price value of like more than 300. Bajaj Finserv you can pick up. Bajaj Finance you can pick up. Grasim you can pick up. Concor also you can pick up.
अच्छा उसी पे शेयर में से हम कर पाएंगे जो अभी जो बताए स्कैल्पिंग 6 मिनट का लगा के
हाँ उस पे कर सकते
उसी
हो
में भी
scalping. Okay, you can do it in them. Either you can apply that breakout strategy of 15 minutes or you can do scalping. Okay, I'll share the recordings also. Watch them and ask me doubt. Are you clear with
Okay.
Achyutanand? You are clear?
Yes, yes.
Right. So with today's session, we have covered all the topics which were to be covered in our course. Nothing is left at present. Vasu, you are here.
Yes, Kabir.
Okay. So we have covered all the topics. Once, revise all those things. And if you guys have any doubt or anything is there, you can discuss in the group and we can have a discussion session. 1 or 2 discussion session, we can have it. Okay. This group where we are at present will be there for next 1 month. So you can discuss for next month, ask your doubts. After that, this group will be made silent and you can do all your discussion in our main group. Or you can always pin me if you have any doubt. Practice everything. Everything has been taught till now is useful and become perfect in either 1 or 2 things. That is more than enough. On this note, I wish all the best to all the people who have joined our course, and always be free to ask any doubt anytime. If you have, you can always pin me personally or in the group. We'll be always there to help you out. Okay? There would be few people who will see the recording, so for them also I'm telling you same thing. All right, Vasu and Achyutanand,
Thank you,
will you
Kabir.
ask anything?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. सर वीडियो छोड़ देंगे जरा हम उसको
Sure,
रिपीट
sure.
कर लेंगे तुरंत.
Sure, I'll share. For this strategy, there is a very specific video which we had taken for the webinar. That also I'll share you. That also you can watch. Even this session also I'll share. Okay, watch both of them. You'll get fair amount in.
सर अभी मार्केट को लेकर क्या है सर आपका जो जैसे उस दिन गिरा फिर रिकवरी कर दिया क्या वो क्या 16,000 को क्रॉस करेगा?
It will go 16,000, no problem. See, these are normal hiccups which were there due to news factor, which I told you, federal news is there. Because of that, profit booking has happened. So it's the matter of time. We saw good recovery in the last session. Okay, market can be little weak because after a good amount of sell-off, buying sometimes may take time, but eventually it will go up. Because if you just look at Nifty, this was where previously it has given a very strong bounce. Same thing happened today also. From the same level, strong bounce is there. So if it is going above it, 16,000 is well within reach. And with the kind of recovery it was there from here, this level will be tough to break. Okay, if this is not broken, easily 16,000 is achievable. If this is crossed, then we can see more downside towards here. In this range we can see. But overall, what I feel, breaking this will be difficult for market. We can have a slow moving market and eventually going towards 16,000. Okay, actually world scenarios are not good. This, if you see US market, that has been really bearish in last 3-4 days, and that effect has been seen here also. Okay, so eventually there is no issues. Okay, overall these are just small profit bookings which are happening, and this is normal. Overall it will go up. All right, Achyutanand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so practice whatever we have discussed, and I have told you many times, you have to become expert at 1 or 2 things, and that is of your choice. Whatever you find easy, suitable to you, do that, and practice is what you'll require. ठीक है, जितना practice करोगे उतना अच्छा.
आपने जो सपोर्ट खींचे थे वो उसी दिन मार्केट वहीं पे रिएक्ट किया और वापस चलाया ऊपर.
Yes, so these supports are very important. I have taught this also, how you can draw simple supports. So this was the expected, this was broken, then it went to the next support, and from here it reversal came. Now understand, if Nifty is crossing this high, that is a very good signal that Nifty will go 16,000, because this is a resistance here. Once it has rejected, second time it has rejected. So if Nifty is crossing this 15,770, that is a signal that buyers are trying to come back and they'll take the price upward. That would be a very good signal. All right.
ग्लोबल मार्केट के लिए ऐसा हो रहा है, नीचे गिर रहा है फिर कवर हो रहा है.
That is normal. So if world market or world scenarios are not good, these things will happen. Okay. Small sell-off will be there again. Eventually, it will go up. So this is normal. You can again enter in good stock. Many stocks have fallen down. Like Grazim is looking good. These stocks you can pick up. Okay. Track the stocks. Use the proper technique, proper logic, what we have discussed. Right? Anything else you want to ask, Achyutanand? And Vasu, you want to ask anything?
No, I think
No,
I'm
sir.
good.
Yeah, great. So do practice and don't forget, the more you practice, the more doubts you'll ask, the better it will be. Okay, and I told you clearly, I'm always there to clear all your doubts. We can have sessions also. In Team Traders group is there. If as a group you discuss to have sessions on clarity on some topic, that can also be we can have in the future. The thing is, you'll have to take initiatives. Okay, and if you have doubt, you should ask. And always you can pin me personally also, no problem. So on this note, and to wish you all the best, let's close this session. Yeah, Achyutanand, you want to ask something?
सर आपका जो KBS एडवाइजर है उसमें क्या इंट्राडे का देते हैं या
Isme basically we are giving swing trades at present. We'll soon start options also, but at present only swing we are giving.
उसमें से ऑप्शन स्टार्ट हो गया है अभी.
What?
उसमें से ऑप्शन स्टार्ट भी कर दिए हैं जो
No,
KBS एडवाइजर
we'll start options soon. At present we are little occupied, so we'll slowly include futures and then options in that.
वो अलग सा ग्रुप होगा.
No, in that KBS advisory only. Okay. Same may will include options as well. Futures. All will be for swing, not intraday. Okay. Options also will keep it for swing, and futures also for swing. Okay.
ऑप्शन भी वही होगा जो कुछ दिन
Yeah,
पहले.
stocks option is what we are planning at present. Stock options we are planning, and then futures also. Nifty, Bank Nifty, intraday options we are not planning at present because that requires close monitoring. Sometimes we can miss out the move while giving the call only. So that is the thing. Okay. So let's see. We'll apply. See, use these techniques which we have told you. Same thing we are using to trade, to find swing, to find intraday setups. Whatever I know I have taught you guys. Now it's on you how you utilize it, practice it, become perfect on it. All is on you. And I've told you, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Anywhere you feel trouble, take the screenshot, share it with me, we can have a discussion. Okay, this is what you guys can follow and practice it. All right. Shall we close for today?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, Kabir.
Great. It was great to have you all guys. Interacting, learning.